Hey, welcome to Amy's Autopsy Report. My name's Amy, and today I am going to review a movie called Midnight Movie. This is one of the ones I got in the horror pack yesterday or the other day whenever I made that video. I've watched a ton of movies in the last week and a half, and I haven't been able to review anything because I've had so many work days, so I got to catch up on these things. I've watched like 6 or 7 movies, so anyway, I just watched this one today. Here is the slipcase that has the really cool. I always like these, the lenticular cover that when you shift it, it's like different. I also like the fact that the cover art on this is kind of neat. When you move it back and forth, it looks like the lights on the movie marquee are changing. So that's kind of cool. I didn't really know what to expect from this movie. This was a movie I've never heard of, I've never seen, and it came in the horror pack. And when I read the back of it, it said, a horrifying treat for gorehounds and old school horror fans alike. That sounds like something that I would definitely like. So I'll read the back of the movie, which is just this short little segment here. At a seedy theater in a sleepy suburban town, a group of friends get together for a midnight screening of an early 1970s horror film, unaware that the director/star of the film has something more in store for them than an evening of innocent jolts. Good-natured heckling as the movie begins is replaced with horrified disbelief when the movie's grotesque villain butchers one of their friends on screen. Will they be able to overcome the killer before they are all pulled into his supernatural celluloid world? So this movie starts out, basic plot, starts out in a psychiatric hospital. And these 2 doctors are observing this patient, this older man, and one doctor says, I'm going to play the movie for him, and the other doctor's saying, I don't think that's a good idea. And he says, well, I think he's going to come out of his shell when we play this movie. And you find out right away that he is the actor and director of the movie that they're going to play for him. He has apparently been completely non-respondent or something. So they start playing the movie, which, by the way, is cool that they actually use film. They've got a reel-to-reel projector set up, and they're doing it like old school. So that was another cool thing. He presses play, starts the reel, and you can see that this guy is completely like kind of freaking out. He's twitching, and it's kind of like these fast-forwarded twitching and moving around and everything. And so then the doctor leaves the room, and they're talking outside and having kind of a conversation. And one of the doctors leaves, and when the doctor who leaves comes back in the morning, everyone's murdered in the hospital. All the patients everybody's dead. Like, there's just blood everywhere. There's no bodies. The guy's not in the room. The reel's just flipping where you see the end of the film has come, and it's just flipping on the reel. And so you're like, oh, you don't know where this guy's at. So then it cuts to, I forget how much later it was, but a group of teens, and one girl, she works at this movie theater, and they're going to do this midnight movie showing of this film, of this guy's film, the film that he was watching in the psychiatric ward. They, of course, don't know anything about, this massacre that took place. They just, this is supposed to be some bad, like, 70s horror movie, and they're going to watch it in the theater. So there's, like, a biker couple. The girl that works in the theater, her boyfriend, one of the other employees, convinces her to let him manage the theater while she hangs out with her boyfriend. There's another couple, and there's like a little kid that's the girl who works at the theater. The little kid is her younger brother. So they start the movie. And then you see two detectives come in, and they're talking about, oh, you need to stop being so obsessed with this case, and you get the idea that this one detective has been investigating this crime ever since the initial massacre happened at the psychiatric hospital. And they think, oh, well, as soon as you start this movie, this guy's movie. He's going to show himself because this is the first screening of this movie since the massacre happened. So they're watching the movie, and they start to, they see, somebody dies on screen, and then one of the next people that dies is the kid that wanted to be the manager of the theater while the girl hung out with her boyfriend. So it's like it in old films, you see the film frame burn up. They kind of use that technology to show like a burning frame of film, and then it goes right back into the film, but it's really like the movie lobby. So the kid that is the supposed to be managing, he goes down to get more syrup for the soda machine, and you see the killer down there, and then that kid gets killed, and then it burns again, and then it cuts back to the other movie that they're watching. Well, at first they don't realize what's happening. They're like, wait a minute, that looks like so-and-so from out there, and they think that that one of them has pulled off this huge prank where he pretends to die on screen in front of his friends and that kind of thing. So that's the basic plot of the movie. I don't want to give any more away because, again, I think this is a pretty good watch, and I think it would be less entertaining if you knew everything about it. But that's how it starts. That's, where the gist of the story begins. So, things I liked about this movie. I love the killer's mask. I mean, that is pretty cool. That's a pretty cool mask. And, he's just wearing regular clothes. And the killer's weapon, he's using, there's no picture of it on here, but he's using like this, it almost looks like an auger. It has a handle and like this big, huge, like drill bit looking thing that's not like a normal drill bit that would just stick straight up. It's like this big triangular spiral corkscrew looking thing, but it's got a handle on it. That's what he's using to kill people with. That was cool. I like the fact that this all takes place in a movie theater. So it's not, I like movies that take place while making other movies, like movies about making a movie. I like those type of films. And this was really kind of cool because it's taking place in the theater with the audience and the film playing. I really like that idea. The gore is good in this movie. At first you don't see a whole lot, and I was kind of concerned that this movie was low budget, so you weren't going to see hardly anything, but it really picks up as it goes on, and there is some good gore in it. There's a couple of really good kills in it too. I will refrain from ruining that for you because those are pretty good too. Let's see what else. The acting was good in this movie. Like I said, I really enjoyed the story. The story was a real unique take, I thought, on a slasher. I think that it had good production value. Like, it didn't look cheap at all. Let's see, what else? I mean, I think that's about it for my likes. Things I didn't like about the movie. One thing I didn't like about the movie is that it's at one point the killer talks. I wish they would have just kept him quiet. I don't think that. And he doesn't talk throughout, so I wouldn't worry about that. I just think that it was unnecessary to make him say anything. It was kind of pointless. And, for some reason for me, that draws me out of the movie when the killer talks, especially when it's like supposed to be like a supernatural force kind of a killer. So anyway, I didn't like that the killer talked. There are a couple aspects about the timing of the ending that I didn't care for. But overall, for the most part, I really liked this movie. It was an unexpected, I really liked this movie quite a bit for this being something I'd never heard of, never seen. Sometimes when you get those kind of movies, it's kind of, sometimes they're unwatchable. They're so bad. It's one thing if they're so bad they're good, but sometimes they're unwatchable. This one was actually really good. I think Horror Junkies 509, Kyle, if you're watching this, or Jeff, I think that you guys might like this film. And it's pretty cheap on Amazon, like $5 or something. I definitely think it's worth a watch. So I'm going to say I'm going to give this movie 3.5 stars out of 5 for a rating. Like I said, good gore, good action. I was never bored with this movie at all. And if you like that kind of movie, if you like a slasher movie, I think you probably think you're gonna like it. I think it's worth checking out. I mean, so anyway, that's it. That's that movie. I'm gonna try and upload some more reviews since I have not had a lot of free time and I've got some extra time today. Midnight Movie, good watch. Check it out, and I will catch you in the next one.